Okay, that's working. Waiting for a few people to join. Hey, Brandon. First guest is one that um, I've had on my channel numerous times for my pickup videos. He was also uh, in one of my other live streams. Hey, Neil.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. How's it going?
Pretty good. What you
Mr.
been up
Canadian
to?
Blu-ray.
What you been up to?
Oh, just working my butt off,
Yeah.
usual. But pleasure to be here on another Canadian Blu-ray 4K
Yeah.
live stream. You added the 4K not too long ago, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I guess everybody pretty much likes that now.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I'm just plain old boring Neil, with my Justice League of America shirt. So, yes, I'm a huge nerd for all things pop culture-y, as you know. But yeah, great to be here. Let's have some interesting topics of conversation, a lot of the latest and greatest in pop culture happenings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope we can get to chat about that. And oh yeah, I've got. I wanted to ask you if you had this. This belongs to Sky, my roommate. But in cosplay, I guess.
No,
anyway,
I haven't
this is the
picked
way.
up the Mandalorian one yet.
No.
No, I want to eventually.
But
I know it's hard to find right now.
Yeah, we got so much Halloween costumes in here. It's amazing. I can show it off if you like at one point, but for now, we'll take this off. Oh, not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it looks awesome. It looks amazing. So, anyway, how are you, my friend? How's life been for you?
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gotten a lot better here in Ontario, I got to say. I mean, some other provinces are having it rough, but we're not doing too badly right now here in Ontario, I think. So.
At least stuff is starting to open up again.
Yeah, there's like no lockdown really, and you don't have to show your proof of vaccination as much as we thought. You can go into Heroes, you can go into other places.
Yeah.
I guess it's just large venues like maybe movie theaters and convention halls and things like that. That makes sense. But
yeah.
Anyway, no, it's not bad. I mean, everything's tolerable here in Ontario. I mean, it's a huge relief compared to like April, May. That was the bad time, but now it's fine in Ontario. Quite honestly, I mean, it's not really affecting my life too much anyway. Hopefully, it's not affecting yours too much.
No. Yeah.
Beverage.
Yeah.
Got to keep the throat wet.
Yeah. Have you been watching like the DC shows or?
A few.
Yeah.
Yep.
I the just the newest ones that just came out like just the other day. Yeah.
Oh crap! Thank you for reminding me. I still haven't watched the most latest episode of Stargirl. I've been working these 12-hour shifts and
Yeah,
just covering for people on vacation at work, right, and stuff. So it's got to be done. But I've just been exhausted coming home, and I just forget all about it. So thank you very much for reminding me about Stargirl because I can't stop gushing about that show. I think I've overhyped it too much, but it is
yeah,
a good show, and it's my favorite DC show for sure. Stargirl, because not because of Stargirl either. Stargirl's not the reason why I like the show, although she's really good in the role. Breck Basinger, I think her name is. Anyway, not related to Kim Basinger as far as I know.
yeah,
It's a good show because of Luke Wilson and all these other guys like Starman and Wildcat and the original Flash. John Wesley Shipp plays Jay Garrick on the show. Jade, the Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern's daughter. Jade
yeah.
is on the show. So many cool characters. And the bad guy, Eclipso, is yes, they did him right. So I'm a big Justice Society of America fan as well as
Yeah.
Justice League of America fan. So yeah, that's why I love Stargirl. Good show.
I won't give anything away from the new episode.
Brought to you by Burger King.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. No spoilers. There's tons of spoilers on Facebook and on YouTube, and that's a problem, right? That's a bad, unfortunate thing that we just have to stay off social media if we don't want to be spoiled, right? So that's all we can do is just stay off there. Just try to avoid our addiction to social media if you don't want your show spoiled if you haven't gotten the chance to see it and it's been a day or two. So no
Is
spoilers.
Stargirl the only one that you're watching?
I'm watching Doom Patrol still as well. That's the adult show because there's so much swearing on it and it's freaking awesome. I won't swear on your show just in case you don't want me to. But
Well, that's okay.
oh, okay, great. Fucking A. Yeah, they do. They say fucking shit and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
it's done very well. Brendan Fraser's really funny as the voice of Robot Man. He's not in the suit, of course. But April Bowlby just blows me away as Elastigirl. And they don't really call her that. And who else is on that show? Oh, Negative Man. The original Doom Patrol are on that show. And then there's like Crazy Jane and Cyborg. Cyborg is awesome on Doom Patrol as well. And Timothy Dalton, who's always been a great, big, awesome actor to me in my book. Anyway, one of my favorites. Certainly one of my favorite James Bonds. He gets to play Niles Calder, I believe his name is. He's the like the Professor X of the team, basically.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah.
Yeah, I know I've been recording it yet, but I haven't watched any of the new episodes yet.
Sorry.
There's so many things on right now that I'm trying to watch them all.
Yeah, there's too much to catch up on. Another good one is Pennyworth as well, by the way, for DC shows. But the ones that I'm sick of are like Legends of Tomorrow. Supergirl's done, of course, and that was just, it was okay. Superman and Lois also is pretty good. I don't know if you saw the review that Sky and I did.
Yeah.
The hindsight review. Yeah. It was pretty good show. I mean, for the concept, for the idea of he's got kids, Superman and Lois have kids. So this is how that story is going to go. And there's been a lot of talk in social media lately about how in the comics, I guess they're making Jonathan Kent bisexual and, oh, it's a big deal. It's not really a big deal. It just, the controversy is that it seems like a publicity stunt. It just seems like it's forced. And, it's like they're just doing it because they can, not because it would serve the story best. Sometimes they do serve the story best when they deal with that kind of a, situation. If you look at a lot of old school comic book characters that have, been homosexual from the start, like North Star or something like that. But I don't know. It's a big controversial thing, unfortunately, with Dean Cain getting involved on Twitter. And I don't know. I'm not going to blab on about it. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Interesting stuff going on out there. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you? I know they just showed Killer Croc on Batwoman.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess it wasn't the original Killer Croc. Because I guess some of the stuff that from like the older villains got taken from the cave, and one guy found Killer Croc's tooth, and I guess he got cut by it, and he got the virus that he had so he kind of like changed into Killer Croc.
Oh, so it's like Son of Croc.
Yeah, so that was on the newest episode.
Cool. Are the effects any good there? Like, I have not been watching Batwoman at all. I'm not a fan.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. You heard about, what's her name, Ruby Rose, talking about how terrible the conditions were on set.
I've seen that, yeah.
And all that. It's too bad, it's kind of too bad because Batwoman could have been a cool show. I've never been that big on Batwoman. I think they could have done a great job with Barbara Gordon's storyline with Batgirl and just, go with Batgirl and do that because the fans already know Batgirl. They already love Batgirl for decades. Nothing really wrong with Batwoman except that in the story of the TV show, it kind of makes Batman look bad. Like in the very first episode, I watched the first few episodes. I couldn't watch anymore because it was just like, Bruce Wayne was a failure and all this stuff. It's just a little too negative on Batman, who's supposed to be really like, he's like James Bond. He's like as good as humans can be. He lives up to the ultimate potential. He's like Indiana Jones. He's like the guy you want to be, right? So to see him fail, that type of protagonist failing like that is just kind of like, So anyway, that's why I never got into Batwoman. More of a Stargirl guy, clearly. I'll never shut up about her. She's such a great show.
Yeah. Have you picked up any new figures lately, or?
Yeah, a few. I did actually pick up a couple of things that I could show off here, if you want.
Sure.
All right. So we've got one pickup when I randomly went into Walmart one day, and I grabbed Stalker here. So Stalker is one of the original G.I. Joes. Mm-hmm. And the package is very retro, of course, obviously, and it's, I'm a sucker for that. A lot of people are. But a lot of these figures don't look great. Like Duke and Grunt, they don't look good at all, and that's kind of the thing. If it's not a great-looking figure, then why bother, buying it, just because the packaging is awesome? But this one, Stalker, my man, Lorenzo Wilkins, I believe is his real name. Yes. No, Lonzo Wilkinson. Sorry, jeez, butchered his name. Sorry, Stalker. Sorry, Larry Hama. But Lonzo Wilkinson is awesome because this guy was like in Vietnam in the original comics, and he was a friend of Snake Eyes, and he's one of the smartest guys. He was like a field team leader. He's one of the coolest G.I. Joes, and we have not seen him really in live action form. But he's awesome, and that figure is awesome. That's a rare case where the figure doesn't suck like Duke or Grunt. Those figures suck. So don't buy those. Unlike the classified lines, which most of the classifieds are really good, and the most recent classified that I got was Pimp Daddy Destro.
Pimp Daddy, yeah.
I can't tell where to. There we go. All right, yeah. So Project Director Destro, PD Destro. I call him Pimp Daddy, of course, because he's based on this character this figure based on Destro that came out quite a while ago, and it was a 3 3/4 inch figure, and it was just funny because he came in like this leopard print, Pimp Daddy looking outfit, and your fans were just like, what the hell? And they had to make fun of it, in Toy Fair magazine, probably Robot Chicken and stuff by now too. So that's another figure that I picked up recently. The last thing I'll show off, the second last thing I'll show off, I got this too at Heroes. I got Martian Manhunter from the DC Universe 26. There we go.
That's pretty cool. Huh?
Getting rid of the glare. So Martian Manhunter, Jean Jones, and it comes with the head and the waist of Validus, which is a Legion of Superheroes villain. And he's very hard to get, and I really needed him for my collection. That line was a Mattel line from 2007 to 2013, or 14, something like that. And I love it. It's one of the best action figure lines of the 21st century, in my opinion. And the last thing I will show you, the actual last thing, is this collector's case. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to detach the battery quickly here. There we go. Hey, there we go. All right. And I'll see if you can see this very well or not. But you tell me how well it's framed, because I can't see. Can you see that okay?
Half of it.
Half of it? Which way?
Move it that way a little bit.
That way. Which this way?
Yeah.
All right. So can you see the Empire Strikes Back vinyl case?
Yeah.
Hopefully the glare is not going crazy, but there you go. This is in perfect condition. I've got G.I. Joes in here, as you can see. just a bunch of Joes, Tiger Force, and got a lot of these from Dark Matter Collectibles in St. Thomas. So yeah, hopefully you can see that okay. I mean, I'm shooting blind here, sorry, but anyway, so I'll go back. So yeah, so that's the most recent toys that I picked up, and you should definitely go down to Dark Matter Toys and Collectibles at 127 Ross Street in St. Thomas, Ontario.
Yeah,
So,
the video that you got from there, I've seen a couple Black Series figures that I wouldn't mind grabbing.
yeah, I didn't see what they were or how much they cost. There was too much in that store.
Yeah.
So I filmed, I just like panned across, but he's got a lot of newer stuff and a lot of vintage stuff too. So he's got a little bit of everything for every toy fan that you can imagine, I'd say. So yeah, Craig Lawrence, Dark Matter Collectibles. Yeah. So try to get a bit more light if I can, but there we go.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of looking forward to the con starting up again, but of course now we got to wait another year.
Oh, you mean London Comic Con?
Yeah.
Yeah, and same with Forest City, I guess. Of course, it's unfortunate, but quite understandable as well, because they couldn't get their stuff together in time for London Comic Con. It wasn't because of the lockdowns or nothing like that. Like, there haven't been any lockdowns since July or something, right? So it's mostly just because I believe it's just because it's people couldn't get together in time, and not enough businesses, maybe not enough merchants or guests certainly were able to come. So just absence makes the heart grow fonder, my friend. So the next convention in Ontario, Southern Ontario anyway, that I'm going to go to is probably going to be TFCon. Been dying to go to Transformers convention. This is the Transformers convention here in Ontario. It's amazing. They always book great guests, and this year, so far, they've announced one guest, and that's Paul Eiding, who is the voice of Perceptor on the original Transformers cartoon. And he's done a bunch of other voices too, like he was the Colonel, I think it is, in Metal Gear Solid. Snake, that guy. So that's Paul Eiding. He's a Facebook friend of mine. I don't really know him. He's one of those few people that I've never met, but are still a Facebook friend just by association, friends of friends, voice actors. So he's awesome. So I'm going to try and interview him if I can, if I can get the time off, if I can get there.
When is that?
It's December 10th to 12th, and it is, as always, at the Meadowlands Mississauga Road Hotel. I'm trying to remember if it's a Hilton or a Delta now. I don't remember, but it's a Mississauga Meadowvale Hotel right off Mississauga Road. It's very easy to find, right across from the RBC building there. It's the whole financial district, and just a bunch of hotels and whatnot out there. So I used to work out there actually a long time ago for BMO. But yeah, it's a fantastic convention. Transformers fans, it's a must. If you're a Transformers fan and you live in around here, or even in the States, once the border makes it easier to cross, you got to come down, because it's going to be phenomenal. Have you ever been to a TFCon?
Yeah, I went to the one, and that's when I met Scott McNeil.
Oh, great. I love Scott. Yeah, he's awesome. I love his Beast Wars characters are fantastic, with the rat trap and the I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. That New York rat accent. It was so great, He's fantastic, and a really, really funny, sharp, witty guy, that Scott McNeil. Yes, sir. I think he's from Australia originally, but he grew up in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. So they always book great guests at TFCon.
Yeah.
So I can't wait until December, and I can't wait to interview someone again, just to interview anybody. I don't care how big or small their celebrity status may be. I don't care, who they are, quite frankly, as long as what they do is interesting. I want to get back to that kind of in-person video journalism, and interview people in person. Even if we have to wear masks, that's fine. Who cares? It's not a big deal. We're all used to that shit by now. So, but I'm just glad everything is just knock on wood, going, cases are going down, deaths are going down, ICU patients going down. In Ontario, like I said, it's not so good in a couple other provinces out west, but here it's great success so far.
Yeah, you'll have to let
Keep
me
it up.
know. And hopefully, I'll be able to go with you if I have the extra money.
Please do, because I'll probably have a car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna book a car and grab it and just go down there, and we'll see who else that they're able to book there as guests. There's gonna be just a ton of great toys and stuff to rummage through, like a lot of old school 80s and 90s stuff. So it's always good, always a good time at the TFCon.
Yeah.
See, I'm still a promotional guy. That's all I do is promote people. Dark Matter Toys and Collectibles and TFCon, and come on down
and
stuff.
Heroes, Cards, and Comics.
Yeah, Fan Expo is still happening, although a lot of the celebrity guests did drop out, unfortunately. But it's still happening, and there's going to be a lot of vendors, and a lot of people are going to be going for merchandise and for cosplay and things like that, mostly. So that's still happening in Toronto, and there's a Niagara Falls thing happening too. Oh, and in London, there's a next month in London. There's a market, like a London Comic Con market kind of thing, like the Andrew Kidd putting on. So that'll be cool because it'll be like a lot of the merchants and hopefully a lot of the vendors that we would see at London Comic Con and places like that out again, so we can shop at least, and I'd love to make a little video about that, promoting that type of event and continuing to promote awesome things that happen in London. So
yeah, I know. I'm just waiting for the other guest to show up.
I'm just blabbing on about London, Ontario. Don't mind me waiting for. So we're waiting for our next guest, eh? All right, cool. You got some questions ready for him or her?
He was actually the one that wanted to do the live stream with you on it. So.
Okay.
Because I guess he.
Do I know this person?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to have some Tetley tea there. Nesty. All right. Well, while we're waiting, anything else you want to chat about?
Have you seen the? I know it just started the other day, but that new Chucky show.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, I almost done that first episode.
Yeah, you can actually watch it for free on YouTube, which is awesome. I love that, and it's put on by this. I think it's a production company. It's called Eat the Cat or something strange like that. But these are really cool puppeteers that are working on the show. It's not a bad show. I've seen the first 2 episodes, and an old family friend, I guess you could say, an old acquaintance anyway of mine, a long time ago, is this guy named Gord Robertson. He's one of the puppeteers on Chucky. It was a show shot in Toronto. Lexa Doig from Andromeda, you remember her? Yeah, she's on the show. She's the mom. And Devon Sawa from Final Destination. He has 2 roles, actually. His twin brothers on the show as well. And it's actually kind of clever what they do with Chucky, with the new idea. This kid finds him at a garage sale.
Yeah.
And he takes him with him to school, and I'm not entirely certain how old they are. Is it like 14 or something like that? It's just not a good age to bring a doll to school. To school, and don't wonder why you get bullied, after bringing a doll to school. So he does get picked on, but then Chucky has his way of getting revenge on the bullies and other people too, because he's psychotic. So it's not a bad show. So far so good, actually. With Chucky.
Yeah, I know how you said about Alexa on there. I try to remember because my mom's watching it too. What was the Jason movie that she was in?
Was she in Jason X?
Yeah, that's it. Yep, yeah.
The outer space one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a couple of actors on that. Well, I didn't know them that well, but I met a couple of the actors that were in that movie. One of them was Melissa Aid, was her name, and she was a really funny person. She got sucked out the window and before her character in Jason X, and right before she did, she says, "This sucks on so many levels," and then she dies, and it's so incredibly stupid but funny. And that Jason X is a good dumb time. I didn't remember that she was in that. Lexa Doig. I didn't remember she was in Jason X.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Speaking of movies, any movies that you've seen recently that want to recommend?
I think the last movie I went to see was Black Widow.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the last theater movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Halloween Kills for me,
Yeah.
which was pretty good. Had a pretty good ending, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Are you gonna see that new Marvel one, the Externals, or?
I don't know. I'm kind of burned out on Marvel, to be honest with you. After like what they're doing is just it's a little too much everywhere. It's almost like too much work to keep up with with all of these Marvel movies now. Because Black Widow is just kind of meh, and I don't really care about Externals or Eternals or whatever they're called. Eternals, right? I think.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie and the guy from Game of Thrones. I don't know. It looks okay, but they're gonna have to do something big in that movie to kind of get my attention. Like if Galactus shows up at the end or something, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Finally they're doing Galactus properly, or something like that. It has to be something big. Like you want to see the Living Tribunal or Eternity or any of these kind of characters, and they might show glimpses of them, which is interesting. All that outer space stuff. The Jim Starlin kind of stuff, the Silver Surfer and all that. But I don't know. I'm just not that interested. And like I said, I'm a little burned out on Marvel. I'm more interested in DC.
Yeah.
More interested in this Flash movie, which has Michael Keaton as Batman, and whatnot. Other crazy appearances too, and that's doing the same kind of thing with Spider-Man. Ever since Loki, ended, of course, that changed everything, and now the multiverse and Marvel, and you can just do whatever you want. And you can have, all the different Spider-Man actors in one movie and stuff like that now, and you can do anything you want. It's getting a bit kind of ridiculous when there stops being any kind of rules, because remember in movies where like death was the final rule, there wasn't any of this like multiverse where you could go or you can go back in time with like these magical gemstones. They all seem kind of like a little too Deus Ex Machina. It's like, well, we need to go back in time. That's the only way to fix all the Marvel crap. So I don't know. It's a bit much. I loved, Infinity War and Endgame and certainly Black Panther and, a lot of the Marvel movies, but especially the Captain America trilogy. I love that trilogy. But I'm marveled out.
Yeah. Did you end up seeing the What If series or?
I did. Yeah, I did. And I wasn't into it that much. I'm actually like a fan of, Agent Carter, who's now like Captain Britain or whatever they called her, in that first episode. And I thought that was all right. And the episode with Chadwick Boseman, one of his final performances, reprising his role as T'Challa, of course, he was really good, and I really liked that episode and him being, the new Star-Lord, whatever. But but some of them were just kind of like, man, I didn't care for the zombie stuff, and the final one with where the Watcher, interferes, and he goes against what he is essentially, and that's just another kind of what if thing. Like, what if the Watcher interfered? So that's like that's the great thing about What If is you can do whatever you want, kill off whoever you want. But I just thought, I don't know, I just prefer the original stories in canon with consequence. There's a little bit more emotional weight to people's deaths that way. Whereas with these What If movies, you can just kill off everybody randomly, like they used to do in the comics. There was one What If comic called the Atlantis Attacks. What if Atlantis Attacks had won? What if the heroes had lost to this Seth demon, this serpent? And it was terrible. It was like this horror movie where all the heroes die horribly, and it's just not that entertaining, to me. It's an interesting idea, but it kind of works better just as an idea and not, anything that we can take seriously. So, but that's the point of What If, I guess, right? Like I said, you can do whatever you want. It's not canon. It doesn't matter. But so it's good news and bad news for me. I'm not a big fan of the What If comics though, so it wasn't that big on the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite one so far was the zombie one, but
yeah, I prefer the comics. I thought they did a great job with the original Marvel Zombies comics.
Yeah.
Whenever they did that, like 2007 or something, I don't know, but I thought they did a great job that way. But with this one, it was just kind of like, okay. I mean, they're already zombies, and then they come out and attack them all in the subway, and then they keep dying one by one, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm just marveled out. I think I'm just exhausted. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I'm just so DC. I'm so pro DC these days, even though I don't like half the shows that they do, but I still prefer DC overall.
Yeah, I know. I seen the trailer for, like you were talking about, like the Flash movie, and I won't give anything away, but there was one part where you could tell what car it was that was covered up by the tarp.
Yeah.
Like when that showed, it's like, oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, and with the shot of Michael Keaton, with the ears, from the back, it was pretty much like, hey, that's what I'm in line for at the theater.
Yeah.
And that's just because my generation, I remember 1989 like it was yesterday. So, going to see Batman and laughing and being scared at the part where Joker fries that guy with his hand buzzer. It's like,
Yeah.
take on it. And, you always were a vicious bastard, Tony. Or whatever, and I'm glad you did, Oh, man. But, yeah, nostalgia sells. Obviously when I was showing off my vintage figures, and then even the new Stalker, all this, like, Transformers, same way, right? All the nostalgic packaging and everything. It really sells in the movies and in toys and comics and everything. Our generation, the adult generation, or the late 70s, 80s generation, people say, born anywhere between the late 70s and late 80s, seem to have their childhood in the 20th century, and they seem to want to call that back a lot, and toy makers and whatnot, they understand that, and so they're going to be appealing to our generation. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm a sucker for retro. I'm a big sucker for retro stuff, and I guess just because it's cool, it's kind of reflective of my generation. It gives me good memories, but it's not like living in the past or anything. It's just more like a celebration of being lucky enough to have owned figures like Stalker and all the G.I. Joes I had as a kid. I'm, as you know, a monster G.I. Joe guy. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop me at any point if I'm rambling. Are we still waiting for our guest?
Yeah. Apparently, he just got off of work, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
hopefully he'll be here soon. Yeah, I know. I'm still kicking myself for from getting rid of all my original G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
I now wish I would have hung on to them.
Well, if they were good shape, then if they were in good shape, then yeah, I mean, maybe. But for me, I sold pretty much all of them in '96. It was the Great Garage Sale of 1996.
Yeah.
And most of them were loose and had cracked elbows or broken crotches, the usual problems, cracked heels, loose elastics. Some of them were, just torsos and things. And because I love them to death, right? I mean, I was so lucky to get so many G.I. Joes. I had the Terradrome and I had the G.I. Joe headquarters. I never had the flag or anything crazy like that, but I did have some of the bigger play sets and just a ton of figures, and I was really lucky to have them. But I played through them all. And in hindsight, you can't really look back and go, well, I was like 5 to 10 years old when I loved all these toys and I played with them to death. Like outside in the pool and stuff like that. Like they would get damaged. It's going to happen. In the sandbox and stuff. So I don't know. For me, I didn't really regret getting rid of figures that weren't in good shape, especially since I was more into girls at the time.
Yeah, all mine were. They were complete. They had all their weapons and
oh yeah,
they weren't broken or anything.
Well, did you get a good price for them at least?
Not really. I mean, I took them to Heroes and
was it a trade? Did you trade or did you sell?
I sold them.
Oh, so yeah, they're not going to give you the best price. Best thing to do with GI Joes just to sell them. I would say like something like Etsy. Almost any kind of collectible is better to sell on Etsy than eBay, and obviously better to sell online like Facebook Marketplace or Etsy than a store, because obviously the store is going to have their markup. They're going to have their need to make a profit, and that's going to bring down the value. So I only trade to Heroes. I never sell to Heroes or any other shop. I would only trade. If I was going to sell, Facebook Marketplace or Etsy for sure. Yeah. Just because eBay has too high fees.
Yeah, because when I end up taking them in, that's when I just really started collecting stuff. So I was kind of still learning. But now that, I've been doing it for a while, it's kind of like I know more than what I did from when I started. So, yeah. So have you been watching any of the Walking Dead or?
I have been watching The Walking Dead for the main reason that I pay for cable, and also because I want to see how it ends. You might as well, continue along with it, because they do have a great cast. They do a great job. I really am happy that Maggie Lauren Cohan is back. Not just because she's pretty, but because her character is essential to The Walking Dead. Although it is different than the comics, of course, we all know that. And Negan and Maggie's relationship, is very interesting, because she'll always hate him, but they do have to work together at some point. Along with Gabriel, played by Seth Gilliam, who's awesome, and Norman Reedus. Again, Daryl, he's the lead on the show. I don't know. What did you think of? Have you been watching it? And if so, what did you think of the last episode?
Yeah, I haven't missed one episode yet. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, because I know it's the other two ones are on now. What's the?
So, Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead's been okay. It's had some good moments. I did not like World Beyond. I watched the first episode and just went, nah.
Yeah, that's ending too. So
too many zombies, too many zombie shows, and Z Nation and all these other ones that are out there. So yeah, but I love the episode of The Walking Dead where the latest episode where Maggie and Negan had to wear the zombie masks like the Whisperers, just to work together. I thought that was really cool. And the other storylines with the rest of the people, the rest of the good guys, I guess you'd say, is pretty cool. I'm very interested in knowing about what the heck they're doing with this storyline about the movies, like what that's going to be about. And that Walking Dead fans, they really want to see Andrew Lincoln back, even if it is just like a short appearance in one of the movies or something. But yeah, I mean, we'd love to see him back. We'd love to see Michonne back, if possible too. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But it's not a terrible show. I think a lot of people hopped off it after season 7, probably, because a lot of people didn't know how the comics went. Yeah. So they didn't, like me. I easily deduced kind of what was going to happen in that first episode where Negan kills a couple of them, right? And people were very upset about that because they weren't expecting it because they didn't read the comics. So since then, I think a lot of people have been complaining about it, and it's been kind of like this down show, this negative show, where it's like, I don't want to watch that show anymore, because it's too brutal, too bloody, and all that stuff. And we're all kind of tired of zombies, I think I'm tired. I think I'm tired of Marvel, but I think I'm mostly tired of zombies more than anything. So Marvel Zombies is the most tired thing. But no, Walking Dead, I mean, it's still a good show. They've done a good job over the last, season and a half or so. I thought, a lot of the characters are interesting, and the action is good. There's a couple of dialogue-heavy episodes that are just like boring as hell. There's one episode where Carol and Daryl are just doing their own thing, and that's it. And there's nothing really happened, and it's just like, what a waste. And then there's an episode with Robert Patrick where the T-1000 from Terminator 2, he's in one episode, and that was a really intense episode. And I thought it was a fantastic, like, Emmy-worthy kind of episode, you know. So it's really hit and miss with Walking Dead.
I heard that apparently, to do with the movies, that the World show is supposed to kind of lead into that.
Oh, The World Beyond leads
Yeah.
into the Walking Dead movies?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So I
Good.
don't know.
That's one way to get me to watch, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think in a way it'd be a good way for them to lead into the movies with that. So hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah. Bring back some characters if they can, or, you know, I mean, that's the only way they're going to bring back fans that love the show in the first bunch of seasons, you know, is to bring back Andrew Lincoln, bring back some older characters, even if it's just flashbacks, you know. I mean, could do that too. So.
Well, apparently with the two shows ending, there's just going to be the one. I heard they're supposed to be making another one. So it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be like the new characters or characters from like the main show coming over to like the new one, since the main one is ending.
Right. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
What to talk about? Video games.
Oh, there's so much. Yeah. Okay.
Get any new video games or playing anything?
No, don't need any new video games.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. I have thousands of video games. Literally. Thanks to Greg. I do have a lot of video games now. But no, I have a lot of consoles. Like my PS4, Super Nintendo Classic, Nintendo Classic, PS2, Xbox 360, and more. So PS1 Classic as well. I've got just so many things, and just on the PS4 alone, I don't even have time to play all those games. I'm still trying to finish Jedi Fallen Order on PS4. I've had this game for like 2 years now, trying to finish it, and also Squadrons too. But I enjoy playing the VR on a different PS4. So it doesn't record my progress on my PS4, unfortunately. I should hook up the VR to my PS4 just for the achievements, but nah, it's not worth it. But that's it. I play I play a lot of old school arcade games, and like just recently, I was playing this on my PS2, the Capcom Classics collection. These are all the arcade versions of all the versions of Street Fighter 2, or at least the first 3 versions, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts Bionic Commando. Oh, so many. Section Z, Final Fight, of course, Commando, Mercs, 1942, so on and so forth. Just a ton of Capcom classics. So I'm very much a retro gamer, I think. More than the newer stuff. Although I do play, like I said, some PS4 stuff. I'm not going to get a PS5 for a long time.
Yeah.
If I ever do, I don't know. I'm kind of like not really so into video games lately. You know, I mean, I play hockey from time to time, but I don't play a lot of multiplayer online anymore. Even though I do have PlayStation Plus, so I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just finished Days Gone.
Right. How's that?
That, man, it is like one hell of a good game. You'll have to give that one a try.
Did you download it off the PlayStation Store or something? Was it on sale, or did you just buy the disc itself?
I got the disc.
Okay.
I think it was on sale when I think it was like the collector's edition. It came with like the guy with the motorcycle.
Right, yeah. I think Greg had that too, actually.
Yeah, because I know I'm the one that let him know it was on sale.
Oh, okay.
So EB.
I hope he's doing well out there in PEI.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're playing any other games or just that one?
Days Gone. I've been playing the one game. It's kind of supposed to be like the Resident Evil 2 game. What the heck was the name of it?
Supposed to be Resident Evil 2?
It was kind of, I guess, that the direction that they were going before, but I'll have to to think of the name of it and let you know because I can't think of it right now.
Okay.
And then I've been playing. What game am I playing for my Xbox One? Oh, Quantum Break.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't know. I'm no Xbox expert these
Yeah.
days, unfortunately. But I don't have an Xbox One. I never have. But
Yeah.
there's a few games I would buy it for, like the Gears games. You know, I love Gears of War, but and Forza and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't help you on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I'll have to Google it.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, it's Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
It's
Okay.
got the guy that played Iceman in the X-Men movies.
Okay.
Sean Roberts or whatever.
Sean Ashmore.
Yeah, Ashmore. Yeah. Yeah, he got him like as the main character, and they made him look exactly like him. So, and doing the voice and everything. So
Cool.
that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of good games to play. Any games you're looking forward to that are coming in the near future?
I want to get games that are out now. The new Resident Evil Village. I want to get that one. And the remake of Resident Evil 3.
Right. Okay.
I want to get those two, or like the main ones I want to get.
Well, yeah. Speaking of remakes, I've been wanting to get the remake of Mafia for quite a while. Love that game, and I remember finishing the second one too, but I still haven't got it. It's just no time for playing video games these days, unfortunately. You know. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, hopefully the other guest will be here soon. Yeah.
I mean, if he knows it's 8, he knows it's 8 o'clock, right? It was 8 o'clock, or maybe or was he scheduled to be later on the show? Maybe, but
I told him 8 o'clock, but he messaged me before I came on that he just got off of work, so
okay.
Hopefully you'll still be on by the time he joins in.
Yeah, hopefully. I got to do my usual 12-hour shift tomorrow at my job. So, yeah, the day job is long hours. Doing a lot of 12-hour shifts lately. Oh, yeah. It's exhausting.
Anything you want to talk about that you want to bring up, or?
Let's see. I gotta remember. I mean, there's so much going on out there. We can get back to movies because, like I said, the last movie you saw in the theater was Black Widow, and I saw Halloween Kills and Venom: Let There Be Carnage, and they're both pretty good movies, you know, for Halloween time, certainly. You know, but Halloween Kills, like I said, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but it is the second movie of a trilogy. Like everybody knows that, right?
Yeah.
The next one's called Halloween Ends, and this one's pretty good. Just like the first one. I thought the first one was pretty good too. Same director. And Danny McBride is a co-writer again. So, you know, that's pretty cool. And it's, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. There's some clever ideas in it. Some of the characters from the original movie are in this new movie, Halloween Kills. And they're all, grown up, like Tommy and I forget the name of the girl. Ruth or Rose or something like that, but they're all grown up. Anthony Michael Hall actually plays Tommy, with one of the kids that Laurie Strode babysat in the first Halloween. Right, they're all grown up now and they're in Halloween Kills. So it's a fun movie. I recommend it. It's a short movie. I don't think it was longer than like 100 minutes. I think it was like 95 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quicker than a hiccup. It goes by real fast. Just like Venom 2, actually. Venom. Let There Be Carnage with Woody Harrelson. He's the best part of that movie, I think. Woody and Tom Hardy, as usual. So those are worth watching. I've heard good things about No Time to Die. I heard it's better than Spectre, which was just kind of okay. So I want to see that too. But obviously Dune, man. I mean, how can we not talk about Dune, right? If we're going to talk movies, especially upcoming movies. We got to talk about Dune, maybe Ghostbusters Afterlife too, with the new trailer and everything.
Yeah.
But Dune looks awesome. What doesn't look awesome is the Uncharted movie. So, see, I should have segued from video games into movies with the Uncharted
Yeah.
movie. But the Uncharted trailer, which stars Spider-Man, Tom Holland, and Mark Wahlberg as Sully, and I just went,
Yeah,
"What?
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so
See the trailer?
yeah.
Have you played the games though? You've played?
Yeah, I
Anything?
love the Uncharted games.
Yeah, I finished 2 and 4, and I played all 4 of them, the first 4 anyway. I haven't played the spin-offs, starting in the ladies and everything, but I want to. But yeah, they're fantastic games, just phenomenal, game of the year, right? Kind of almost every time it seems, with the Uncharted games. So they're phenomenal games, but when they cast the movie, I just thought like, well, I like these actors a lot. I love Tom Holland and I love Mark Wahlberg. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, guy. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm Sully. Come on, come on, okay. Like I always do like Boogie Nights jokes when it comes to Mark Wahlberg, but and I actually bumped into him once at a theater, and I said, "Dirk Diggler in the house," and, and he went, "Yo," like that.
Yeah.
True story. But anyway, that's all that happened. I think the casting is off here. I don't like the Mark Wahlberg as Sully. That's going to be hard to get used to. That's kind of like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I didn't like that either. They just seem miscast. They're fully capable actors, of course. Nothing against their acting skills and all that, but sometimes the actors just don't seem to fit the role. It just seems like, why did they go with this guy, or this woman? And Tom Holland just seems a little too young for Nathan Drake, unless they are starting young, and that's the whole point. Is that he is young, and I guess so. I mean, they're both younger, so maybe that's the idea. But I don't know. For me, I guess I was just hoping for like Nathan Fillion and I don't know, Sam Elliott or something. I don't know. Somebody that's older with the stash. You got to have the mustache going if you're going to play Sully, at least later on. So I guess that's the thing, is that it's early days of these characters, Nathan Drake and Sully. So I don't know. I got to reserve judgment for the movie, right? But it looks okay. The action looks great, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check out the trailer.
Yeah. I really hope that Dune is a big hit, though. I think it will be. It's already a big hit overseas. So I think. But yeah, no, it looks phenomenal. Denis Villeneuve, Canadian, French Canadian director. He's amazing. Incroyable. He's incredible. He directed Blade Runner 2049, which I thought was fucking phenomenal, quite frankly. I thought it was one of the best movies of the last 10 years. And that's amazing for a sequel to, cinematic, a masterpiece of cinematography anyway. Blade Runner. Some people love it, some people don't. But anyway, Dune. Can't wait for Dune. Yeah, it's probably going to have an abrupt ending. It's probably going to be like, oh, it ends there, like Fellowship of the Ring or something like that, where it's like, well, hopefully there's a sequel.
Yeah.
There probably will be.
Are there any movies that you were looking forward to that don't come out until like next year?
Probably. Black Adam. They just dropped that. I don't know if you saw any of the DC Fandom stuff on YouTube, but they dropped trailers for Shazam 2 and for Black Adam. So that's pretty awesome. Shazam 2, I'm kind of like, I don't know. This could be kind of super corny, but I did enjoy the first film. And I got to meet Zachary Levi on the set, not on the set, but on the set of the morning show when I was an intern there. Just, doing everything from like, grip, like PA type of work, being a gopher and stuff, to like acting producer and stuff. And I got to meet him. I got to meet Zachary Levi, and I was just like, oh, it's so cool to meet you. And you're in both Marvel and DC. That's awesome. We had a cool little quick conversation. Anyway, that kind of makes me a bigger fan, when you meet the actor and the actor's cool.
Yeah.
And he is really cool. But for Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they didn't show much. It was really just a teaser trailer. It's very short. But this is something I've been talking about for a long time. I've been, ever since Jeff Johns and whoever, worked on the old Justice Society of America book from the 2000s, from like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, those books featuring Black Adam and Isis and all the stories of his origin in Kahndaq, which is his like city, and he was the ruler of the city, and that all goes to hell. That all gets messed up.
Yeah.
He has a fall from grace, being the original chosen one for Shazam's powers, sort of thing. And but man, I can't wait for Black Adam. I've been talking about how The Rock would be the perfect, casting for Black Adam. People used to talk about, The Rock should be the adult Shazam. He should be the Captain Marvel as he was originally known. But it should be someone like Jerry O'Connell who voiced him. But no, Zachary Levi did a fantastic job. So I'm just like anticipating not only these movies, Shazam 2 and Black Adam, but I'm also anticipating the next film, hopefully after that, which will see them come together, and fight each other and face off. Maybe it'll happen at the end of Shazam 2 or something like that. But
yeah,
as like the trailer, post trailer thing or something maybe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. So there's that, and then I don't know. I can't really think of too many others right now, but I'm sure there's some. I've heard some bad things about certain movies that have come out lately. What's the worst movie you've seen this year, either at home or in the theater? Let's talk about the turkeys now.
Can't think of any.
No?
No.
There's a movie on Netflix, and it stars some of the most amazing actors, like some of the most amazing women in Hollywood right now. But it's horrible. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's a movie called Gunpowder Milkshake, with Karen Gillan and Lena Headey, and Carla Gugino. I mean, such gorgeous, amazing, talented women. But there's not a single good guy character, like literally guy. There's not a single male character in the movie, and it's just kind of like, okay, it's about assassins, but there are no good male assassins. Like, it's every man is a treacherous, horrible scumbag, misogynistic character, and I just went, oh man. So I'm not going to get into all that, but I thought it was just like, it's like watching Captain Marvel all over again,
Yeah.
Men kind of suck sometimes, so we're going to make a movie and push that message a little bit, kind of almost subliminally, throughout the film. And they seem to do that, because I was like, really? There's not one male character that's got like any decency to him, I don't know, but it was pretty bad. And I didn't like Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. I was so disappointed. Again, no, there was a great cast. Again, it's always a great cast, and the great cast can do a great job, and the directors are more than capable, and the effects are up to par and all that stuff. But when it comes to the story itself, I just thought, nah, I didn't care for it. It was just too. I don't know. It was like, like another one of these Ready Player One with Wreck-It Ralph and Tron and all these movies with the same story kind of over and over again, where it's life in a video game, but he's this non-playable character, and there just didn't seem to be much actual heart in the film. As much as I love Ryan Reynolds and Jodie Comer, I love Jodie Comer. She's fantastic, brilliant actress, but I don't know. I just didn't care for Free Guy. I just didn't laugh much, and I just kind of went, meh. Mediocre. So.
Yeah, hang on. For some reason, it's not letting the new guest on the video.
Not letting you have more than one guest at a time? Should I leave?
No, just hang on, okay?
All right. Red 5 standing by. Such a nerd.
Okay, I just sent him the link again, so let's see if that works.
Cool.
So did you get that? Did Sky get that from the
EB? I'm being very careful. Don't worry. I'm sorry.
Did he get that from EB Games or Toys R Us?
I don't know, actually. I just thought it'd be a cool thing to show off in the video. That's all. Pretty sweet. I guess you'd have to kind of wipe it down a little bit, get some fingerprints off it.
Yeah.
It's a really cool helmet. We get the rest of the costume then. Wow. Booyah. Are you excited for the Book of Boba Fett?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why it's not letting him. I just sent him the link again, so hopefully it works this time.
Hopefully. So we're both on our phones, right? Or at least I am.
I'm on the computer.
Okay. I'm on my phone, but
yeah.
So you might get some bars on the sides there, but it's horizontal, so it's not bad. It's landscape mode. Just find that there's less interruptions. Like if it was on my laptop right now, it'd probably be like freezing, like freezing all the time on my lap. That's why I don't use my laptop. It's not a great connection. I'd probably have to like plug in literally with the Ethernet cable or something, for it to not do that. But right in the butt. But these are some of the growing pains of having to learn how to interview people during pandemic times.
Yeah.
And I wish I could interview. I probably could if I asked a few people on Facebook, a few voice actor friends, or buddies. I could probably do that. Acquaintances, let's say. Maurice LaMarche is cool with that, and I think Tara Strong would be too. So I don't know. It's too bad pop culture is not going still, because
yeah,
that'd be really great. Being able to do like videos on our Facebook page of interviews with people that we kind of know a little bit, barely, if they have a few minutes to talk to us. But oh well, I miss being a media guy so badly. It's so much.
Yeah.
All I do is my day job now. So, but it's gonna come back. Like I said, hopefully I get to interview Paul Eiting, the voice of Perceptor, who's going to be at TFCon, December 10th to 12th. So hopefully he can make it there, and that'll be my next celebrity interview. Yay. You've gotten quite a few awesome celebrity interviews yourself.
Oh yeah. Okay, he's got it working.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it'd be cool to get more interviews again, but who knows? Okay, guys. So introducing the second guest. He was on my live stream for my second one. Mr. John Joker.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey
Neil, how you doing? And it wasn't you, Neil. It was actually my phone. I'm actually cooking right now. I do apologize for coming in late. Just got out of work and just medical field stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours. It was actually the Chrome. I had to get on Chrome for the phone, so that's why it wasn't letting me. I was like, no, don't get off, don't get off. I want to meet you. So it's finally nice to meet you, Neil.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I've been seeing your videos. I like your videos, especially when you, especially your War for Cybertron. I noticed that you liked them at first. They were up at good, at a 8.59. Then here comes Earthrise, and it went down a little bit, and then Kingdom went down. I'm like, oh man, I guess he was a little bit disappointed in them.
Yeah, well, the last one was kind of just okay. It was a bit convoluted. It was kind of like, man, don't look at your phone. Like you can't be distracted. You got to be like, what's going on? Like, because they're messing with the timeline, and it all comes down to Megatron. It comes down to Megatron's decision, and so on and so forth. So you're a big Transformer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like you said. Red 5. I'm a big nerd. Well, I'm a big nerd too. So I get what you mean.
Yeah, so it's said with love as well, of course.
Yeah. I didn't mind. I didn't mind War for Cybertron. I just, I think my pet peeve about it was they made Optimus look like a little wuss, you know. And I mean, I don't know, it was just, I don't know, it just, I think that bothered me a little bit, but made him seem like he didn't know what he was doing, you know.
Yeah. Same with Ultra Magnus and Siege, and stuff. And I thought that some of the characters did silly things, and they killed off quite a few characters by the end. And some of the
Yeah.
voices were just a little too off to me too, but maybe that's just because I'm a G1 guy and a fan of the original Beast Wars as well. So I like to hear like Scott McNeil kind of voices,
Yeah.
But like Dinobot just sounded like the completely different kind of casting.
Yeah.
But, it was okay.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, it was okay. And yeah, I didn't watch Free Guy. I agree with you there. I felt like it was like a Ready Player One type of other movie, and I like Ready Player One. And I was just like, that was another reason why I didn't watch Space Jams too, because I was like, nah, they're trying to make it seem like Ready Player One here. So
yeah, they did kind of do the video game thing.
So yeah, so I agree with you on the Free Guy part. I don't want to see it. I was like, Anything else? What y'all were talking about?
Any questions for John Joker, Daniel?
Well, I just want to bring it up. I know that you've been getting into like the original G.I. Joes.
Yeah, the vintage, the 83, 82 to 82 to 94.
You need to definitely talk to Neil because he knows his stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's why you wanted to introduce me to Neil. Awesome, I like that because I know Neil knows a lot about. Well, I don't think Neil's not that. He's not old, so because if I'm not old, he's not old. Shoot,
I'm older than you think, or perhaps.
She needs your help, Luke. I'm getting too old for this.
That's right. Some people are easily startled, but they'll soon be back. Yeah, no, I love G.I. Joes as well. I recently picked up this Slaughter's Marauders
Spirit. Yep.
89. Nice. So I'm all about the 80s Joes myself. I kind of stopped at 89 because I was starting to get into girls. So
I plead the fifth.
I love G.I. Joe. Greatest toy line of the 20th century, maybe of all time. Easily. Just the construction, the posability, the diversity of characters, and above all, the tie-ins.
Yeah.
I love talking about this stuff as an old, 80s geek, but the tie-ins of the toys and the comic books, brilliantly done, written by Larry Hama, and of course the cartoon, which were brilliantly voiced. Toys, cartoon, and comics. It was nothing could, not even Star Wars had better cartoons or comics than G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was way better in the comics and cartoon category than a lot of those shows based on toys.
Even like you said, even their toys were way better than. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have some vintage Star Wars, but there's another gentleman that I think Canadian. No, well, Daniel, I guess. Like, I don't know how you want me to call you, but
okay, you can use my name. I don't care.
Okay, I'm sorry. But we have a show on Wednesdays where we've been collecting a lot of the Joes, and it's just I was telling him these. If I were to give up, I would give up everything that I have just to get all the collections, all the vehicles, including the USS Flag, the shuttle, because like you said, those toys back then, they were ahead of their times. All this stuff that you're seeing with new figures that, they got articulation, this, and this. The Joes 3¾ inch were the first ones with the elbow articulation, the knee articulation. You can actually do splits on these Joes. I mean, not that you want to go too far to making the splits, but you could, and you can twist their bodies and their heads. I mean,
bend the knees.
I mean, it was ahead of its time because a lot of the other figures, your Star Wars, your Silverhawks, your figures, your little figures of Mask, which the vehicles were like the best ones out of that line, but your Ninja Turtles, I mean, you name it, all those other figures from the 80s and 90s, or early 90s did not have the articulations to the knees and elbows like your 3 3/4 inch Joes did.
Indeed, yeah. I think the fact that they were so posable, and the fact that all the stories that were so great, for me anyway, back in the day, it would inspire the best playtime. Because you would in your head you would come up with a screenplay for this next episode of GI Joe or whatever. You could have crossovers
Yes.
with Star Wars figures if you wanted, but but for me it was mainly the fact that they were so posable that they could hold their guns like this. It wasn't just like this starting in '83,
Yeah.
right? The swivel and battle grip. They could be so posable. Their heads were more posable later as the series got better and better. The toy line,
Yes.
and it just made for a more entertaining playtime. I guess a more realistic playtime. It made it more intense. It made you want to play with them more. And I used
Yeah.
to shoot little stop motion videos and stuff with my friends of GI Joes and stuff, and because they were so articulated, they could move like in so many ways. It's fantastic, and it was Robot Chicken before Robot Chicken.
Yeah, yeah. and I was gonna say you sound like a robot chicken. I'm surprised they didn't pick you out for that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I don't know why
cool.
Seth didn't call. Yeah, a lot of those Toy Fair guys, if you remember the Toy Fair magazine, those are the guys that wound up working on Robot Chicken, like
Yes.
Tom Root and guys like that. So that all came from there. But yeah, GI Joe definitely the best line ever. What are your thoughts on the retro line? We were talking about this over here earlier. I was showing off that I picked up Stalker.
You got Stalker? Cool.
And he's the best figure in the line, in my opinion. I'm a sucker for the retro packaging, of course.
Well,
But
yeah, the
what do
back
you
part
think of
is
the line?
nice. What do I think of the line? I'm gonna be honest with you. I like them. I'm collecting them. I need the new ones with the new Cobra officer and I think it's Crankcase. Not Crankcase. Grunt. I need that
Right.
because then I have the whole collections. Because I do have the. I am collecting all of them. I do have the Hiss 1 and the Hiss 3. I have the Cobra Fang. I have the Awe Striker, and I like them. My only issue is that you got to be very, very careful with the hands and the fingers because they break a lot easier than the 3 3/4 inch. And of course, just to let everybody know, they're not really these new ones are not really 3 3/4 inch. They're actually
No,
4 inches.
yeah.
They're
Exactly.
they're a lot taller, and I don't mind them. I'd rather go with if I'm gonna save up, I'd rather save up for the classified series, which I do enjoy. I think there's a few classifieds that they need to fix up because a lot of them, like Firefly, the legs are real loose. But like that Stalker, I agree. I think he's one of the best ones. The second one behind him would probably be Destro to me because
Yeah.
Destro looks pretty nice, buff and everything like he should be. But other than that, I do like him. I just think that they can like when you look up pick that Stalker up again, Neil. One of the things that I wish that it had is if you remember in the 25th anniversary one and then the old school one, the whole picture that you had a little white line going around it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some of those too. I don't have Stalker, but I do have some of those 25th anniversary with the. Some of them were white border and some of them were like silver border.
Yes.
For the logo. So yeah, I do have a bunch of those as well in my room. But yeah, it is a little bit different. I thought that yeah, they are bigger, like you said. They seem very similar to the 25th anniversary line.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't buy some of them. I thought like, well, this is the exact same friggin' Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow. So it was like just maybe more weapons or something. And I just thought, nah, I'm not going to buy them. And just seemed a little recycled. And some of them like Duke and Grunt, I don't think they look very good as figures. They look kind of like,
I agree.
They're this kind of weird facial expression, and their bodies don't look as tightly put together as the old
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things that is very scary with them because they seem to be easy. They can seem to be like when they're in the box, they look like they're that they'll be good, but then when you take them out, you're like, ooh, I got to be very careful with this,
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, they're doing pretty good with the retro. I mean, I do like the vehicles. The vehicles have come out pretty good. Of course, they're not the old school types, but if you were to find the old crankcase from figure of the 80s without the All Striker, and you buy this new All Striker, there ain't any difference. I think that's the beautiful thing about it, and I mean, I can't wait. I do like what they're doing with Joe's. I've already slimmed down on a lot of my figures because um, I have a lot of figures that I collect: Transformers, GI Joes, Dragon Balls, Hot Toy figures,
Oh,
DC
wow.
Multiverse, you name it. I love action figures and I love anything from the '80s. But you know what? Now that you showed me the Marauders, because that was pretty cool. Let me show you something real quick, if you don't mind.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, my friend. Since you had the Marauders before the Marauders, and I haven't shown this yet.
All right, the Triple T.
Yeah, with the.
Yeah.
So
That's the.
I
Is
did
that
get the Slaughter, but the only thing I'm missing is the
Oh,
back part. That's the only part, but he's got everything else.
okay,
So
cool.
that's the
Yeah,
cool.
I
So
remember
this is
that.
the version 2 one, because the first version was the one that mail in, but I
Yeah.
haven't shown this to anybody, and I hopefully nobody else sees this live, so I can show it next week on our on Rebels' channel, because that's where we do a lot of our showing of what we get. So
Right. Yeah. Rebels, reptiles, and video games or something.
games, yes,
In
yes,
games, yeah. I've seen him
yes.
does a lot of He has the Thunderstruck going at the top of every video,
Yeah.
and it kind of crashes in there for a few seconds, and you're like, oh, watch the copyright, watch the copyright. Oh, okay. He stops it right before probably. So fair use. So that's good. But he seems cool. Another big Joe fan, I guess.
Yeah, he's a big Joe fan as well, and it just ever since he started talking about him, and he had a few, he got me into the trend again, and so I have a few Joes, and then I have a few that are on the way, um, that we're gonna show in the next live, because we're both looking at having, probably we have about 50 to 60 Joes now that we've purchased, not together, but his own and then my own. So I have about 60 something, and then plus the one extra ones that I'm getting. So we're in this in the long run to get those old, and it just, and I told him, every time I get a classified Joe, I'm happy to have that 6-inch classified GI Joe. But when I get a 3¾ inch Joe, the nostalgia's there. It just brings my childhood memories back, and I rather go with that 3¾ inch Joe instead of the classifieds, which people are looking for left and right, and then you can't even find them because everybody's, like they say, scalping them. I guess you can say. I mean, if people scalp, people scalp. Yeah.
The unfortunate thing about that, the Baroness with her motorcycle, the classified Baroness, she went from $60 at Toys R Us to $100 now at your local shop. And
Wow.
online, and I'm just like, well, she's not that rare. I mean, the price is gonna probably come down when they get restocked, and they're gonna get Breaker with the motorcycle too. But right now, he's probably cost a lot of money, and it's just not worth it to hunt down many of these things. A good buddy, acquaintance of mine, Jay Bartlett, he quit classified. He was like, I don't want to collect these things anymore because the classified figures, because it was just too annoying to get the ones that he wanted. It was just too expensive, and just this big Easter egg hunt that he didn't really feel like going on.
Yeah, no, it is, and then especially when they're the Cobra Islands and they're only Target exclusive, and I don't even have a Target where I'm at, so it's very hard to get those. So I have friends that'll pick me one up at their Target and send it to me, and and it's just ridiculous when they first come out. Like you said, they're at $100 something that they're selling. I mean, look at Major Blood and look at Beachhead and that Cobra Viper, all hitting $100. Then they re-released them, and then the prices went down. So it's better to wait, like you say. Better to wait.
You this way. You've got some Cobra Island figures though, don't you? Canadian Blu-ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough to get those ones.
Yeah, I know. I've been apparently the new Cobra Island one, how they're the Target exclusive, but Toys R Us has been getting them. And
over there in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Canada.
And one of the Toys R Us's I went to, I was talking to the one guy, and I guess they got the one case, and apparently a customer complained to the manager there that he was holding them, like not
For himself?
actually putting them out on the shelf, but holding them for himself. And I guess apparently he got in so much trouble because of it. So now, I guess with them only getting the one case, he was saying they're probably not going to get any more. So,
But that's the issue, you know. I know that there's some employees like at Walmart and Target that love these figures. I mean, maybe save you one, but don't get the whole box to try to make a profit for yourself. I
Yeah.
think that's ridiculous, and I think they should start cutting down on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I worked at Walmart long ago, and during the Tickle Me Elmo craze. So I don't know if you remember that, but that was like December '96 in Ottawa, Ontario, where I'm from, and it was madness. I had the last two Tickle Me Elmo dolls in the whole province, and they were put on layaway, and that's what you should do. I was an honest toy seller, at Walmart. I wasn't someone that would take it for myself and try and sell it. But a lot of people were like offering like, I'll take it for $150, just right now, man. Come on, you can't lose. And I'm just like, yeah, I can. Get in big trouble because these are on layaway. So, oh man, yeah.
It's the same thing with shoes. Same thing with shoes with the Jordans. When I was working at Foot Locker, everybody was going for those Concord 11s and especially those Jordan 11s. And I'll tell you, I cannot. And they wanted them before the release date. I was like, I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Yeah, it's the same with when I used to work at EB Games as an assistant manager in Toronto. Same kind of thing. People wanted the game like, oh, it's here. Hey, okay, I'll take it right now. It's like, it's not ready. We have to process the shipping. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll give you extra money. I'm like, no. And I'll lose my job. So
yeah, no. People don't. Yeah, people don't realize that we can lose our jobs, and the way you got to do it is just tell them, are you going to pay for my rent? Are you going to pay for everything? Are you going to find me another job if I get fired? They stop.
Yeah,
they'll
exactly.
Stop.
Just Tickle Me Elmo going to pay for the rest of my life? I don't think so. So
nope.
Yeah, no. Getting back to like the scalping and the rarity of G.I. Joe classifieds is one line. There's a bunch of Transformers too that I've had a hard time finding in Canada, like the Kingdom Galvatron. I'm just like, I'll pick up Galvatron. I love that, and then can't find them anywhere. I'm gonna get them online for like $100 or something. Like, forget that. So if I see them at a convention, that'll be my best bet. But yeah, being a toy collector these days, it's a pain, right? I mean, everything's so expensive. You can't collect too much. I mean, unless you're rich, you can't collect that much. And I've got over 800 figures in my collection, and a lot of them are from my childhood. A lot of them are rebought. Same ones I had when I was a kid. When it comes to vintage collecting, I actually kind of collect autobiographically a little bit. Just the ones that I had when I was a kid, just for money's sake, just to not be a completist, because that's when you go broke, is trying to complete collections.
Yeah, so true. True. So true. Are you into anything else besides figures? I mean, did you collect comic books? I mean,
yeah. I'm a pop culture expert. I'm a, loved everything. So comics, movies, TV. But in terms of comics, I'm I'm wearing a comic book cover right now.
That's true. I should have noticed that.
Right, an old 70s Justice League comic, but yeah, no, I like, obviously everyone knows I love Larry Hama 80s G.I. Joe comics, but I grew up with Daredevil and X-Men and Justice League, and also loving the JSA, the Justice Society of America, the 40s stuff too. So I'm a big DC guy more than a Marvel guy. Then, how about yourself?
I'm a DC guy more than a Marvel guy. I prefer collecting. I mean, I did collect some Marvel comics, but I have more DC comics now than what I did before. To me, my favorite DC line is the Batman series. Superman, at one time I was following him, but they changed them up a lot. But anything to do with like right now, I've gone back into comic books because of the storylines that they would do, like Infinite Crisis and the Blackest Night series was one of the good ones, and of course I got back in time for comics when Batman Rip happened and the Battle of the Cow and all that stuff. So it was cool. But I mean, I guess you can say my favorite line in the Batman series was Nightfall. It was 20 parts to it, and then you had some tie-ins. The only issue is that the comic industry was kind of getting hit hard because they were just doing so many printings of first printings that it really messed them up. That a lot of those issues people don't really care about. But it's like I always tell people, they're always gonna make a comeback because everybody's starting to sell them now. You know, the '90s are '90s comics are coming back, and people are starting to enjoy them. You know, and especially that's where you see all these new characters coming out into theater, into TV or movies that were from the '90s. I mean, especially Deadpool. Deadpool came out in the '90s, and people didn't know about that. And I tell them, yeah, his first appearance was New Mutants, and then his own comic book was in the '90s. And you know, there's nothing new to him. And if you think about it, Harley Quinn. Everybody thought her first appearance was in the comics. Like, no, her first appearance was in the animated series.
Yep.
And everybody like, really? I was like, yeah, she wasn't even the way she is now. I don't even like the new Harley Quinn, to be honest. I love that old gesture type Harley Quinn, you know? But I know that they're trying to change it up to make her look more appealing, I guess you can say. But I'm not about that. I'm about what the character was from before. I mean, she was a crazy character in the animated series. I think a lot of people loved her more in the animated series more than the Joker. But the only reason why everybody loves the Joker is because of the man himself, you know, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, well, that's definitely one reason, depending on your generation, for sure. But he's always going to be known as the best voice of the Joker, for sure.
For sure.
People like Troy Baker, another really good voice actor, he does a Mark Hamill impression. You know, so it's interesting to see that. It's like, well, that's because we wouldn't accept it if it didn't sound like Mark Hamill's Joker, I guess. But in the new Injustice animated film that they're doing, right, which is kind of based on the video game, I guess.
Yeah.
But in that new Injustice, they have somebody doing the Joker, and it's just really like a really annoying laugh. And I wonder if is it just my taste? Is it because I just don't want anything other than what sounds like the Joker when it comes to animation or video games? I don't know, but it just sounded horrible to me. This new Joker laugh in Injustice, I was just like, oh man, it's way too high, too high pitched. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I think of the Joker in the games, I think of the one from the Arkham series where I know in the older one, right? I don't know which one, either the third or the fourth one, either Knights or I forgot the other one, but
Origins.
There was I think it was Origins. I think you're right on that one.
That's the one with Troy Baker instead of Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, right? Correct. Okay, so it was the third one. And see, you can.
Origins had Troy Baker instead. That was the prequel. Yeah, okay. Troy Baker was the Joker doing a Mark Hamill-like voice.
And you can tell the difference, though. Yeah, you can hear the difference. Yeah, I mean, I knew it wasn't him because, I mean, there's always that you can hear that little one area where you're like, okay, that's not Mark Hamill. Who the heck is it? Or did they put somebody else in it? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I always think of Mark Hamill, and you know, it just sometimes it's a shame that, I mean, it's gonna happen. They're gonna have to change. They're gonna have to get different people to voice people, because the people that we were growing up seeing, they're getting older, so it's not gonna be the same, you know.
Indeed. Yeah. So, well, we'll probably get more voice actors doing the Mark Hamill impression of the voice of him. You know.
I hope so. So I think it's the better voice, but that's probably our opinion, and somebody else is gonna think otherwise. So.
Yeah, everyone's got their own opinion,
and that's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna hate them for it or be like, no, I'm gonna cancel you. I think that's so ridiculous.
But yeah, back to comics. Like I used to collect comics for the story, you know, to finish the story and stuff, and sometimes for the artwork too. I would cut out the artwork. But I didn't care about the value of comics. It was not something that I ever thought would ever be worth much, and I was right for the most part. You know, it's like Death of Superman, not worth a lot. You know? It's like, oh, big deal, but so like a lot of those comics aren't worth anything, and so many reprints and paperbacks and whatnot. So So yeah, I never
Yeah.
collected comics for the value. That's for sure.
I agree with you there. I was the same way. I actually like the Reign of Superman more than the Death. I mean, even though the Death was awesome, but just seeing, you know, three other. I mean, you can't. I mean, I know Steel had the steel suit, but seeing that cyborg Superman, and see, that's another guy that's becoming very popular now. And just seeing those, and also the Eradicator and that other Superboy, I love that, and I love the storyline too. How Superman returned, and you know, I
Yep.
mean, it was always about, and that was my thing with Nightfall, you know, and that's why I guess when people talk about Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, I tell them I don't like any of those because they were too colorful, which they look like a comic. I understand that, but that Bane in Batman and Robin was just too dumb, and that's not the way he was in the comic books, you know. So
Mr. Bane.
yeah, I mean, oh goodness, I can go on with that, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's some people's Batman. Some people, some youngsters, you know, they watched Batman and Robin, and that was their Batman, you know. So to each his own.
yeah. I mean, I get it, but you know,
Not my Batman.
no, who's your Batman?
Well, in live action, it's got to be Michael Keaton because you know, like that's the movie that kind of hit when I was like 11 years old, and that you know hit me right at the right age, and yeah, I mean everything was Batman back then. So Batman and Ninja Turtles was you know everything in the late 80s. So, you know, and Nintendo of course, but those are the three things, the only three things that mattered back then. So, but yeah, that's my Batman for sure, Michael Keaton. And we were kind of talking before about how he's coming back in a way in this Flash movie with Ezra Miller, who I still don't think is a good Barry Allen, but that's just my opinion. I don't like the new Flash, but that's me. But I'm very excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman, though. So but that's just a nerd thing, right? Doesn't mean the movie's going to be good, but we'll see. But yeah, that's my Batman. Other than Kevin Conroy, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I like Michael Keaton, even though I mean, when I was younger, before the '89 Batman came around, I would watch Adam West Batman. You know, so and of course that's very very different. And
Right, you are,
of
old
course,
chum.
what'd you think of which one's your Joker?
Well, there's been so many great ones, so it's hard. I mean, sentimental favorite will always be Jack Nicholson, but it's also impossible to ignore how great you know Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix were both as those characters. So, and then you got you know obviously voiceover guys like Mark Hamill and John DiMaggio and all the great people that voiced the Jokers over the years. So I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite. I guess I would go with Nicholson just because that's you know he was the Joker for me even before Mark Hamill did the animated voice, which I never believed at first. I don't know, like back in 92, 93 when the show first came out. Oh, we've lost Double J. I didn't believe that was Mark Hamill at first, but then I did later. I was like, oh, him. Nope. Yeah, we're kind of flickering in and out here.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me
I'm
okay?
still moving.
Canadian Blu-ray?
We hear you. We hear you, but you're...
No, maybe not.
Frozen, Neil.
You hear me,
Is it just me?
Canadian?
Yeah.
You okay?
Signal interrupt us, but I'm okay, though, on my side. It's strange.
Yeah, I know I brought up earlier how you guys are talking about G.I. Joe. I used to have
Well, apparently I'm still live and still talking. You guys might be talking too, but we just can't. I can't see you or hear you.
I used to have
technology.
The original.
This is why I only wanted to do an hour.
That
he's coming back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Neil. Oh.
We lost him.
Yeah, I was talking earlier that I used to have the original G.I. Joe stuff, and this is when I first. This is when I first started collecting that. I decided to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm kind of kicking myself that I should have kept on it. hung on
It
to it.
happens, buddy. It happens.
I did end up keeping a few of my Joes from when I was younger, so I still got like the snake eyes.
Ooh, yes, that's the version 4, right?
I think so.
That's the 8990 one, I think.
Yeah. And then I know you showed this earlier, but I also have the
Oh, cool.
mine.
Very cool.
Mine's complete.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just need that back part. That's all I need.
I got the missiles for it downstairs.
Yeah, I have them there too.
I know it's weird. I noticed on the one that you have, it has the U.S. Sticker on it.
Sticker? Yeah.
But for some reason, mine's got like the Canadian.
Yeah, because yours is more Canadian. Was more imported for Canada, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the missiles on them.
Yeah.
But mine is that's the only part that's missing.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I mean, it looks cool showing the engine.
Yeah.
So let me.
Neil's back.
All right, cool.
Okay, he just went away again. Okay, what's going on?
It's probably his internet. That got going pretty bad.
Oh, he's back.
There he is.
Wi-Fi failed there, I guess. You guys were still going. I was just like talking to myself, I thought, for a minute there. Just,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. My
Yeah,
favorite
when you
though.
said you lost Double J, I was like, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, just from my side, right? From my perspective. But I know it was my Wi-Fi that failed, so sorry about that.
That's all right.
It's hard living in an apartment sometimes.
That's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
So we were just looking at that, Neil. He was showing his triple T,
Yeah.
and then the different, like I was telling you, I guess yours was more of the Canadian type, because if you look, he has the Canadian flag on his, and I have the U.S. flag on mine.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually. As you probably know, Double J, that as you might know, like in Canada, some of the characters, their file cards changed their birthplace to Canadian
Does it?
birthplaces. So Scarlet
Oh, wow.
Scarlet was from Grand Prairie, Alberta, when she was actually from Massachusetts or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, and Spirit was from Saskatchewan or something instead of New Mexico. So that they would change that, and that would be confusing, because you hear about these American file cards, the original file cards, and where they came from. But it's funny because they changed some of them to Canadian, I guess, just to appeal to Canadian kids more. It's like, oh wow, this G.I. Joe was born in Canada. Like, I don't know, it just seems like a stupid thing, It's like, we knew it was a real American hero in Canada when we were kids. We didn't care. Like, it was about how awesome the action was in the figures. So,
Well,
but that's funny.
That is funny. But what's interesting is that a lot of people forget G.I. Joe was actually, like you said, a real American hero. People got to realize that doesn't mean they had to be U.S. Because everybody says, "Oh, America, U.S." No, Canadians are also Americans.
Right.
It's the same thing from somebody from Brazil. They're Americans too, and that's why when we have these border-to-border crossing, are you an American citizen? Well, yeah. Even if I was from South America, I'm still American. So it's kind of interesting how it is, and I don't know. It's just funny, I guess. But it is what it is. Yeah, that's interesting.
How do you store your vintage figures there? Because the way I store them is in these Star Wars cases, and I have a couple of Joe cases too. But these are the best cases to keep your loose figures in primo condition.
I don't have them stored. I actually have them standing. They're over there on my shelf where I have my other stuff. There's Falcon.
Lieutenant Falcon. Voiced by Don Johnson.
Yeah.
Crockett himself. Yeah, I have 130 Joes by my last count, and I'm just talking vintage '80s Joes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have one GI Joe from the '90s. The only one from the '90s is this colorful guy, which I randomly picked up with his funky pants, his
Is that
giraffe.
Bazooka?
This is Leatherneck.
What the? He looks different.
Yeah, Leatherneck version 3, 1993, and I just picked him up at Dark Matter Collectibles, which is a great little vintage store here in Southern Ontario in St. Thomas. And yeah, I don't collect '90s Joes, but because he was just $10 and he's in perfect shape, no cracked elbows or nothing, I thought, what the hell? Pick him up.
Nice. Did it come with the accessories or?
No,
No, no.
that's why he was $10, right?
No, not true. But sometimes, I mean, some people they'll sell them for $10 even with the accessories when they're the 90 ones. Just depends on who it is, the character.
Yeah, exactly. So when you buy vintage Joes, are cracked elbows a deal breaker for you, or do you look for perfection, or?
Well, the cracked elbows not so much because I can fix that up. It's the crotch that really gets to me.
Yeah, you can fix the elbows. How do you fix the elbows? Just like
Well, I
other than
mean,
replacing them?
well, no, I don't replace them. I pretty much what I do is I'll try to, which is I don't recommend it. You just got to be very careful. Do a heat gun, not a blow dryer, but a heat gun to kind of melt it away, and then just little by little just get it together. I don't know if it'll I don't know if it'll heal the interior, but I know that the outer part you can kind of get it back to where it looks like there's no cracked elbows. But it's very tough to do. I mean, got to be very patient, and if you don't have nothing else in your agenda that day, you just do what you can and take your time at it because it is scary because you can end up breaking them, of course.
Yeah, that's so. One of the things about vintage figures, especially, what's tough about them is fragility in some cases, and also like obviously cracks and whatnot, but also the colors too will fade. Really really tough to combat the whiteness turning yellow. I have like 5 biker scouts from Return of the Jedi 1983 that are like yellow chested, and there was like nothing I could do about this. I keep them in a cool place, it doesn't matter. Age will just catch up with them. I got so many snow jobs and whatnot, white characters that turn yellow. It's it's tough being a vintage collector, but I don't know. I think I'm still gonna mainly focus being on vintage collector instead of a new figure collector. So
now, have you? I know a lot of people told me this, but I've never done it. I mean, you could probably try it, but have you ever tried that OxyClean for the yellow ones?
yeah, so I tried that once with an iceberg figure, and it kind of worked and kind of didn't. The unfortunate thing about it, I was using this peroxide that you get at the hair salon and stuff, and the unfortunate thing about it is that it'll still go yellow later. Like it doesn't. It's not a permanent fix. It seems like a Band-Aid, kind of solution, because it's like, okay, well, if it's humid enough or whatever, where the chemicals in the paint will react and turn yellow again anyway, it's really not worth it, taking them apart, bathing in them in peroxide, and then putting them on the balcony or something for the sun to shine on them for a while, and then you take it.
Yeah, you're talking about the bleach, right? The salon care bleach. Yeah, that's what I use.
Some people
it
think
helps.
that. Some people think it destroys the GI Joes, though. It destroys the figures, whatever you're doing. So it can damage the other paint too, like Storm Shadow's symbol or something. You got to put like Vaseline or something on there to prevent that from fading, and it still might fade. So it's a big risk, I find, to kind of fix that kind of thing. And a lot of collectors, they just collect for fun, so they just accept it and they go, "Hey, I've got yellow Farm Boy Luke over here, or I've got yellow Storm Shadow or yellow Snow Job," the typical ones that turn colors eventually.
Yeah.
But that's just like I'm just saying that's just kind of a one of the cons of collecting old school figures, for sentimental nostalgic reasons or whatnot. or even just because it's the greatest toy line ever, in terms of GI Joe and stuff. But
Yep.
it's still risky because, especially if you buy them off online, like if you buy GI Joes online, you don't really know how loose the knees are or the elbows or whatever. You can only see cosmetic issues.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't buy online either. I prefer going to stores and trading and stuff, conventions. Too.
I haven't had issues with online. I mean, that's where I've been buying my Joes. But I'm already ready with that. I already have the O-rings and the kit and everything. So in case of they're loose, I can just fix those up. It's not that difficult, and that's what I like about it. So, I mean, I will find out. I mean, I do always question. Like I'll ask, are these loose? Is there anything going on with the joints or anything? Or, of course, you always look at the picture. And yeah, sure enough, they'll be honest with me. Oh, the crotch is broken or so. But I mean, I've purchased a few with the crotch broken, but they're at $6, $5. So I'll go with that, and then I'll end up getting another one or getting parts for it, and see if that'll do. So
that's fair. Yeah, that's a fair price. But I've had a couple of bad eBay experiences a long time ago. I used to have a store on eBay, like a little toy, like collectible store page, on eBay, and sold a lot, bought a lot and sold a lot. But a couple of times, I purchased a Snake Eyes 1985 Commando Snake Eyes, and because he's an all black figure, it actually was hard to tell from the picture that they took that the crotch was broken, but they didn't mention it.
oh,
So
yeah.
he sent it to me, and then I sent it back, and I wasn't too harsh on him, but I just said, unfortunately this figure is broken, so I'm gonna have to ask for a refund. And he was like fighting me on that and stuff. So you can have some bad experiences online buying stuff like that, or like anything fragile. People can kind of pass off as, oh, okay, this part's broken, but let's make it look like it's not. Maybe he won't return it. So there's always going to be a few sellers like that out there. But
Yeah.
I find Etsy is much better. Etsy has a much better record lately for fees as well as honest sellers. And then there's Facebook Marketplace, of course. If people are willing to come to your area. So
Yeah, I've been getting my. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just saying, much better for selling and trading than eBay.
Okay.
Stay off eBay.
I haven't really bought anything from eBay. It's been more Macari. Macari's been good with me. So, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So I've been doing more of the Macari, and that's been better for me. And there's this one gentleman that he's been selling a lot more, and I've been buying from him, and it's actually been pretty good. It's been pretty good with him. We've actually have gotten close as a seller and buyer, and the guy gives me deals, and if I ask for a figure maybe for lesser price, he's like, just for you, bro, of course. And I was like, well, thanks, because it seems like I've been buying from him more than anything, so it's good. I mean, but I haven't tried the Etsy. I got to try out like Etsy, like you said, so I got to see how that one
Once
is.
you find a trusted seller, especially I bought a bunch of Voltron stuff off this guy in Manitoba, and he gave me a great deal on these Panache Place Voltron lines with the chrome. Looks good. Like these toys look terrible when the chrome rubs off. It's all like yellow and horrible looking on the lion's legs and stuff. But when you get one with all the chrome is perfectly intact, it's a beautiful toy. Very nostalgic. Not the best Voltron ever, but certainly the most nostalgic from my childhood. And I completed my Voltron collection all thanks to this really cool seller in Manitoba. And he gave me good deals. I mean, buying within your own country obviously is the best financially. Obviously, for the sake of shipping and stuff. And but yeah, once you find a good seller, and repeat business, you can keep buying from that one guy or girl or woman, whatever. But
Yeah.
so once you
It
find
actually helps out.
Yeah, Justice Curry is another good one in Michigan. I think he's in Kalamazoo, but somewhere around there. And he's a really, really great buyer seller for Joe's, and he's got a pretty funny YouTube channel too. But anyway, what's going on with you, Canadian Blu-ray? I feel like I'm talking way too much. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Not much, just listening to you guys.
I think that's what he wanted so for you and me to meet, because he's like, I want to have you both. I was like, well, thank you. I was like, so I appreciate that, Canadian. I appreciate that a lot, to get to know Neil. I know you've had him on your lives before, and I was there I think there was like 3 of us, but getting to know Neil through your live was awesome because he had a lot of knowledge, and I was digging that. And that's why I asked, do you have a subscriber channel? And you're like, oh yeah, and it's like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I think that's where Rebels also he subscribed to after that, and I was like, oh, good. Got to help out everybody that we can,
Yeah.
What we're here for.
Yeah, it's great. The action figure community, it's fantastic. I mean, just for the love of toys, just love talking about it. Just really appreciating, the best ones and everything, and reasons for people collecting and everything like that. So it's great to hear stories of collecting. It's also a bit. It can kind of snowball too, though. I mean, I've talked to Canadian Blu-ray about this before, and a lot of other people where it's like there's a certain point where you don't want to become a completist. You don't want to buy every little thing that there is out there because you will go broke.
Yeah.
Keep it within your budget. Sell some stuff, trade stuff as often as you can. And that's the healthy way to be a collector in my book, because I've got 800 action figures, and it's if I get too many more, it's going to be like hoarders, so
I agree with you. That's where I started cutting down, because it just I mean, I loved everything, but I was like, you know what, I need to I don't need the whole collection just for a Build-A-Figure. I can just go and buy the Build-A-Figure piece itself, and that'll be okay, instead of getting the whole thing, If I can find that Build-A-Figure piece for cheaper than the figure that comes with the Build-A-Figure piece, why not? So, but I do, I mean, and I sell off some of my stuff too. I agree with you. It gets tough. I mean, I'm more of an inbox collector, but I rather stay that route. I don't know. I just love the inbox, but with Vintage Joes, I rather open them up if I ever get them in a package or so. So
yeah, it's all about how much space you got too, I guess, right?
That's true.
I know I had to trade in a couple of my figures a couple weeks ago because Neil, you know how much I have because you've been over here so many times.
Yes. Quite the toy store you got going on down there. Yeah. But me too. Who am I to talk? I should show you guys my room one day, and it's I have to make a path to my bed sort of thing right now because I have everything out. I got these giant Rubbermaid stacks full of DC Universe Classics figures and Ninja Turtles and Mortal Kombat figures and Transformers, and I still got that Cyclonus, that I can sell you if you want. If you still want it,
I'll still get that from you.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to sell that Starscream as well. The one with the crown. The what do they call it? Leader class, I guess. From a few years ago, I'll probably sell that one too. Because I've got too many things, again. So, just if you can't display everything, and you got to put it away for years, it's almost like, well, why even have it, right? So it's time to trade.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I gotta hop off. I'm gonna start eating because it's late for me already to eat. So, Neil, it was great to finally meet you, and I hope that we can speak more down the line. It was awesome, and thank you, Canadian, for this. I really appreciate it. So, thank you guys so much, and I hope to get to see your room and your collection sometime soon.
Yeah, you can see a lot of my collection on my YouTube channel, which is Neil Temple. That's just my name.
I already have you sub. So
good. Okay. So you can see a lot of my collection there.
All right. Sounds good.
Pleasure to meet you.
All right. Pleasure to meet you too. Y'all take care now.
See ya.
Thanks, Canadian. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.
All right.
That was fun.
Yes, glad our American friend could join us.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That's really great. Seeing, meeting people online and stuff, and getting to talk with them and chatting with them. I'm really good acquaintances with a lot of the most popular toy channels out there, like Retro Blasting and obviously Jay Bartlett, Jay and Rob, and then Michael Mercy and all these guys. Some of them don't get along, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into the drama between toy collecting YouTube channels, but it does exist. But still, it is great when people come together and just kind of go, oh, you like that stuff too, eh? Oh yeah, yeah, and you know a lot about it too. You're not just kind of like, not knowing much about it, not really caring that much about it. But for me, obviously, it's I was a lucky kid, so I had all the cool toys in the 80s, and that's what made me a toy fan and toy collector still to this day into my 40s.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like we were saying before as well, like we gotta stagger it out a bit in terms of like the purchasing and the selling and the trading, right? There is a bunch of stuff I got to get rid of, and I'll probably get rid of half my Transformers, just for the sake of space and because I have too many great things that I want to keep. So, so anyway, yeah. So this is pretty good. I mean, we're almost hitting the 2-hour mark here. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were there any comments or all? Is anybody watching at all, or is it just us? Which is fine. I don't care.
One Western Ram thoughts on, I guess he means the Halloween Kills.
Thoughts on Halloween Kills? My thoughts? I guess because I saw it. Good movie, good ending. It's the second of a trilogy. It's the Empire Strikes Back of Halloween movies. So it's a good movie. It's fun. It's not like the most original thing ever, but it is fun, and it's cool that they have some of the characters from the original movie continuing, on in this Halloween Kills. So thumbs up. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. We'll say it's pretty good. Maybe an 8. So, any other questions in the comments?
Brandon loves horror films. Loved it when you said that you discovered girls.
Yeah, I took a break from collecting toys for girls. Yeah, it happens. And some girls are cool with guys collecting toys. Some of the girlfriends I had were like, "Oh, that's awesome! You have this figure," But some girls don't. So I don't know. I guess I didn't mean like you can't have a girlfriend and toys, but you certainly can. But yeah, back then it was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to represent myself as mature as possible. So no action figures when the girls come over.
Yeah,
anyway.
Apparently, he's also rewatching season 3 of Transformers.
The War for Cybertron, or you mean the original show?
Probably the original.
Oh, so season 3 after Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
Where the late great Jack Angel, a good acquaintance of mine who just passed away on October 19th, rest his soul. He was one of the coolest cats I ever knew. He was the voice of Ultra Magnus. He took over that voice from Robert Stack in 86, I believe, right after the movie. So, yeah, we just lost a really great Transformers legend, voiceover legend. He was Smokey the Bear, He was the teddy bear in AI. He was Wetsuit on G.I. Joe, one of my favorites, And anyway, Jack Angel was an awesome dude. Season 3 of Transformers is pretty good, with the voice changes are pretty acceptable. Frank Welker became Galvatron, which made sense because he was Megatron. So season 3 was fun. I recommend getting the whole big box set, the whole Matrix box set of every episode of that. So
also about how you met Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, it's barely a meeting because I'm more like I shouted at him. I was at the Scotiabank Theater. They used to call it Paramount, right, downtown Toronto, Richmond and John, I think. And Mark Wahlberg was there for Max Payne, that terrible video game movie that he did. But he was there to premiere that movie. I believe it was Max Payne. And I would think I was there for Transformers or some movie. And I just saw him there answering questions. And then he looked over at me and I went, "Hey, Dirk Diggler in the house." And he just went, "Yo." That was me meeting Mark Wahlberg, which is barely a meeting, But I've met a lot of celebrities, as you know, and actually talked to them, and actually have some of them are actually kind of good friends. But I just seem like a fanboy name dropper when I talk about them, so I usually don't talk about it too much. But anyway, yeah. Mark Wahlberg, cool guy. I just don't see him as Sully in the new Uncharted. I don't see the casting yet, but I'll give the movie a chance first before judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Sky there, or is he at work?
Sky, I think Sky just woke up. He's getting ready to do his night shift as Batman. You can see him over my shoulder here in that
Yeah.
painting. That's a Jay Terry painting, I believe. He's really good artist, and yeah, if you don't know Sky Westman, he's my roommate, and he's also known as London Batman, and he's cosplayer extraordinaire. He's got a whole bunch of great hats and costumes. We got Iron Man, War Machine, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Pink Ranger, Stormtrooper, Bumblebee. The list goes on and on and on. There's just so many masks and cool costumes. Captain America Shield. That's actually the lesser one. The other one, the better one's in the hall, but that's a decent one. Again, over my shoulder, you got the Proton Pack as well from Ghostbusters there. So there you go.
Yeah.
Some cool stuff. But yeah, no, Sky's just getting up. So
Yeah, he'll have to be on the stream sometime.
definitely, yeah, you should have him on as a guest.
Yeah.
You can show off all the latest and greatest cool stuff. He just got the Crypt Keeper mask, and I took a photo of that. I thought that was awesome. It was really cool, really realistic looking version of the Crypt Keeper puppet. So that's cool.
You
Just
get
in
that
time for
from, the Halloween place.
yeah, which one? Spirit of Halloween?
Yeah.
I haven't been myself, but like I'm not much of a dresser upper. I mean, I have been Captain America in the past, but I would only dress up if the costume was like, movie quality, kind of super styles, like expensive, in other words. But
yeah,
if it looked great, then I would do it. But
did he get that Crypt Keeper mask from the Halloween store?
I think so, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
You'll have to ask him in the next live YouTube video.
Yeah.
Book him as a guest, but you'll have to book him at a certain time because, yeah, he's a night shifter, so it might be tough to get him around 8 p.m.,
Yeah.
Maybe in the morning, or like if you got a day off and then like in the morning you can do it, but or Saturday morning or something like that, maybe. Yeah, man. So, how's your puppies doing? We didn't talk about your puppies. How's Cara doing?
She's doing all right. I haven't killed her yet.
Oh, she being a bad girl?
Yeah.
Just being a naughty puppy? I saw her destroying the toys there, her stuffed animals.
Yeah. When she's quiet, she's gotten into something.
Oh. Doggy destructo. Yeah. I want a dog myself. I've been thinking about getting one when I get a new place and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that, being pretty much at the top floor here in an apartment's the ideal for a dog. And I want like a medium-sized dog too. I wouldn't want a little tiny dog that runs on batteries, or I certainly wouldn't want a giant like Great Dane or a Saint Bernard or something like that. I'd like a medium-sized dog, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got one cat here. That's fun. Black cat, Panther. Just in time for Halloween. He's been kind of a brat lately too, but he's spoiled. So Sky spoils him. Yeah. So anyway, we've gone past the 2-hour mark. What do you say? Anything else you want to talk about, or?
Nothing I can think of. Any stuff you want to talk about, that videos that you're coming out with, or?
Not really. I mean, I've kind of playing with the idea of doing a couple more action figure collecting videos. Maybe update my collections because I've got a lot more Joes now than I did 2 years ago when I did that last collection video. So check that out on my YouTube channel, Neil Temple. If you care for someone's opinion about movies and TV shows, then I do reviews mostly, and I'm going to review Halloween Kills. That'll be my next video, I think. It'll be a quick review because it's a quick movie. It really goes by really fast. I'll review that one. And any other videos, I mean, I really want to interview guests. It doesn't have to be a celebrity. It can be a guest, of any kind at any cons, or anywhere, just people from home, I do have a few fairly famous Facebook friends that might give me the time. The unfortunate thing, though, of course, is that, I was never staff at CJBK. Okay, I just want to put that out there. I was never a Bell Media staff member, but I was a volunteer, someone that loved working in radio. And because we don't do Pop Cultured on CJBK anymore, right, after the horrible layoffs in February and then Greg moving away and all that, kills the show. So now I don't know if people, I don't really have the same kind of credibility, right? I can't say, hey, I'm on behalf of this, and I can't say that. I'm just Neil Temple, YouTuber. Is that good enough? I don't know. So, for some people, yes. For some people, no. So, William Shatner would shoot me down in a heartbeat, but some of the more, less famous people will probably let me interview them because I think I'm really good at it. I've gotten extremely good at it. You're good at it too.
Yeah.
But we've gotten really good over the years. Since 2015 or so, when I started doing it again. Interviewing the voice of Jem, Samantha Newark. That was my first interview in like 15 years. So bless her for that. And ever since then, I've been getting better and better and better. And some of the interviews are just like James Duvall and Allison Cord and Daniel Logan. Some of those interviews I did were just so good, and I just want to keep doing them more and more and better and better, And I don't know, I guess I just want to be like an Entertainment Tonight reporter or something, but I don't know. I just love it. So I can't wait to get back to that. I'm looking forward to that, either whether it's online or in person. So, yes.
Yeah, because I know when I first started, like, doing the interviews and stuff, I was so nervous. Now I don't think I am as nervous. Sometimes I kind of am, but most of the times it's just like, just go in there and ask them questions and stuff.
Yeah, come in with a few arrows in your quiver, a couple of good ideas for good questions in the back of your mind, and just know exactly what to ask them. And one thing that I've learned, because I went from being rather editorial and very YouTube promotional-ish, like, hey guys, it's Neil Temple, this is my opinion, and I really liked it here. This is a great convention. You're a great guy and a great woman. When you get too complimentary, if you say, I'm a big fan and stuff like that. I did that in the Samantha Newark interview, which I was rusty, I was like, hey, I'm with Samantha Newark. I'm such a big fan. Like, it's fine if it's just a YouTube video, which it was at the time. But if you're doing it on behalf of news station, Entertainment Tonight, something like that, entertainment shows, or even just Fanshawe College, something like that, then you got to be less fanboy, and you got to be just straight up, I'm the interviewer, I'm going to ask you questions, and that's it. I just want to know what the answers are, and hopefully get some interesting answers. Hopefully the person you're interviewing isn't a soft talker, and you can hear what they're saying, and what they're saying is interesting, and they have a lot of energy. You hope for that, without offending them. So don't ask any dumb questions, but yeah. So that's one thing that I learned, very quickly early on, was that just don't be a fan unless that's how you want the video to be. If it's just for your YouTube channel, you can be a fan all you want.
Yeah.
Because I've already done so many professional style interviews, I want to keep doing them that way and just be like, it's a pleasure to meet you. You've been very successful at this, and I'm going to ask you this question, and that's it. No, like, I was a big fan of you in this movie, like none of that, kind of thing. So that's what I learned to cut out in professional interviews. And some of that, actually, a lot of that is thanks to Greg, Silver Screen Machine, of course, who gave me the opportunity to interview so many cool people and do it in a fun way, but also professional way.
Yeah.
So, wait to interview more people.
Yeah.
Dying
Yeah,
over here.
because I know, like, when I've done my interviews, like, say for, like, example, Carla Perez, how she was, like, Rita on Power Rangers. That was, like, the coolest thing. And, I just went in there just as, not a fan, but just somebody that was just interviewing her.
Yeah. Have good energy, but have good questions. And don't be a super fanboy. You can compliment them a little bit, certainly. Like, your performance was fantastic. What was it like working on this movie or whatever? Go right into the questions, things like that. So, yeah, I love it.
That's basically what I did with. I interviewed like Cooper Andrews. He was cool.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Absolutely, man. I missed that. That was a great London Comic Con 2019. I got to interview Tara Spencer Nairn from Corner Gas. But I don't watch my own videos. As easy as it is to joke, like, yeah, you can watch your own videos a million times and get a million views. Not really, but anyway, what a waste of time. When I watch my Tara Spencer Nairn interview, I think it's bloody perfect. It's amazing. It's incredible. But it's only a couple minutes, and I didn't get to ask that many questions, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask her what it was like going from live action to animation with corner gas and stuff like that. But whatever, you just got to be thankful for the time that you have, I guess. And, but yeah, I mean, Denise Crosby and Spock Vegas and other people that I talked to there. It was a fantastic convention. I can't wait for the next London Comic Con. And I can't wait for the next Forest City Comic Con. I can't wait for Shockstock, and love Shockstock at the horror convention here in London. Just so many great events, that are coming back. I mean, God, I don't want to jinx anything, but it seems like in Ontario things are going to be normal as can be by next year. So, knock on wood, that all the conventions will be hip and happening next year here.
Yeah.
Miss it. Well, any other comments or questions?
No, that was pretty much it.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure, of course, to do these type of live streams. Sorry that the internet cuts out sometimes. Obviously, it's going to happen, but at least I'm not like frozen every 5 seconds. Like in the first live stream we did, I did that on my laptop, and that was a mistake because it was just so bad, like the quality of connection. So I apologize for that video because the quality wasn't great on my camera, on my crappy laptop. But the phones, man. I mean, you've seen that iPhone 13 commercial where people are shooting movies on iPhones, and that's it. It's just an iPhone.
Yeah.
There's no more giant cameras or nothing, And so everything can be done on our phones. So who needs laptops anymore? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's awesome. This was a good one. I'm happy we did it.
Well, yeah. At least you got to talk about the G.I. Joes with John Joker.
Yeah. Well, he seems very knowledgeable as well.
Yeah.
So I'll always gush about it. I don't care how young it makes me seem. I'm in my 40s. People think I'm in my 20s, but I'm in my 40s. And I go all the way back to the early 80s with my memories, and that helps. But yeah, I'll always push 80s stuff, especially the best of it, which is G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Star Wars, of course. I'll always love this stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever grow out of it. If I ever have kids, they're going to have some amazing Christmases. Like 800 action figures in Daddy's collection, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. But I might, like I said, wind up trading and selling, and some might go to charity. Some of the newer stuff, that kids might want. This Christmas, it's time to donate again. Toy Mountain, all that stuff. So I'll have a few newer figures that I can donate. So looking forward to the holidays. I hope I get to see my family.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for letting me be on your show, and pet your puppies for me and say hi to your mom.
Okay.
And until our next one, I guess, eh? But that's up to you. You're the host, so you can end the show.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go finish watching Chucky.
Good. Yeah. It's free. Like I said, on YouTube. It's on Sci-Fi on YouTube. The Sci-Fi YouTube channel. You can just watch it. It's not bad.
Cool. Okay. Thanks for joining in again. And also John Joker.
Yes. Thank you, John. I'm not sure what state he's in, but it's always a pleasure to talk with an American and get that American perspective, Like, I went to Target today, and we're like, But then we say, I went to Toys R Us today, and the Americans go,
Yeah.
I miss Toys R Us. I'd take Toys R Us over Target any day, personally.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all for tonight, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too, brother. Until next time.
Yep.
There we go. Peace.
Thanks, Neil. So there you go, guys. There's the live stream. 2 hours and 16 minutes. Thanks for joining in. So until my next one,